Groups, a place to belong, a place to grow. Together, groups pursue Jesus. We're so glad that you're here. Welcome to your group. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another week of discussion in your groups. This week we are taking a break from our series called Simply Jesus, as we had the privilege of having our Missions Sunday this past week, where we heard from Leah and Ruben Miles about the mission work that they are doing in the Philippines. It was so cool to hear from them, and I am excited to dive into reflecting on the message that Ruben gave, where he tried to help us understand what missions is all about. Before we dive in though, I always like to give you a warm-up question to help you start your discussion. I find that if we dive right into the serious stuff, the conversation can be hard to get going. I really appreciated Ruben's story about the lost car keys in his sermon on Sunday. I could just picture him frantically running around looking for the keys, mostly because I am in fact someone who misplaces their keys very often. Notice that I did not say lost them. I don't lose them, I just misplace them. Anyway, this got me curious to see if there are any items that you lose frequently. Or I was wondering if anyone had a funny story about losing something. So why don't you discuss that with your group now? Remember, group leaders, that you don't need to spend a ton of time on this question. What item are you always losing? All right, everybody, let's dive into discussing the sermon from Sunday. Ruben had us thinking about mission and what is at the core of mission work. I love that he brought home the point that being on mission is not just something that a few people who are called to be missionaries do over in some foreign country. Yeah, some people are gifted in cross-cultural mission work, but we are all called to live our lives on mission for Jesus. Jesus gave the Great Commission to go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything He has commanded. This is a church-wide commission. The idea that missionaries were the people who flew to an overseas country and that mission happens over there just simply doesn't hold anymore. We are in the middle of the mission field. At the core of mission is seeking the lost and not letting anything get in our way. Ruben gave us 3 important points about missions. First, we need to change our perspective and see those who do not follow Jesus as lost, not helpless. Second, we need to see the value in the lost, that we cannot be apathetic towards those who don't follow Jesus. They have value, and we need to intentionally seek them out. Finally, there is urgency in our mission. I want you to discuss these 3 points about mission: that people are not helpless but lost, that lost people have value, and that there is urgency in seeking out lost people. Which of these stands out to you and why? Do you struggle with any of these? Discuss that with your group now. All right, welcome back from discussion. Let's keep going. What I loved about Ruben's message is that he continually brought it back to us, the people listening. Over and over again, he talked about mission as something that we can do and have to do. He gave a challenge at the end of the sermon to think about one person who needs to find Jesus. He asked us to consider how we view them. Do we see them as lost or helpless? Do we see their value as a child of God? And do we see the urgency to seek out that person? He challenged each of us to go and seek out that person. Now, seeking that person could look like a bunch of different things, and we don't have the time to get into all of that today, but I want you to discuss this, and I'm going to assume something. I'm going to assume that a lot of you have not gone out and made any intentional effort to seek this person you thought of. So I want us to discuss why. I know that I thought of a few people, but I've not taken any steps yet in response to this challenge from Ruben. Now, if you have, that's amazing. I hope that there are some, if not many of you, who have taken that step. And if this is you, then discuss what has held you back in the past. So discuss that with your group now. What is holding you back from seeking the lost? Well, thanks for coming along for another week of discussion in your groups. And I want to send you off to finish your discussion together and talk about anything else from the sermon, your daily time with Jesus, or another part of your life that's been meaningful for you this week. Share that with your group, share any questions you have, keep the conversation going. Let's do our best to live our lives on mission. See you next time.